Hello, my name is Sydney Villalobos, and I will be doing my final project on migrant detention camps. So, history of migrant caravans. A migrant caravan is a large group of migrants, typically from Central America, traveling from their home countries to the U.S.-Mexico border to seek asylum. And migrant caravans have been around for years and years, but this recent presidential administration has brought attention to them by spreading misinformation and saying that many gang members and some very bad people are mixed into the caravan heading to our southern border, when in reality it's just families with their children trying to find a better life. So what are migrant detention camps? Well, according to the internet, the immigration detention is a policy of holding individuals suspected of visa violations, illegal entry, or unauthorized arrival, and those subject to deportation and removal in detention until a decision is made by immigration authorities to either grant a visa and release them into the community or to repatriate them into their country of departure. So, one quick look at these conditions in the migrant detention camp shows that they're infringing on basic human rights, and the UN Human Rights Chief says that she's appalled by conditions in the U.S. migrant detention facilities and that children stopped by border agents should never be held in immigration detention facilities or separated from their families. Now, what leads migrants to seeking refuge in the U.S. in the first place? Many migrants are coming from El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala to escape violence or to escape extreme food insecurity, which is prevalent in these countries due to drought and crop failure. Now, foreign aid has helped these circumstances, but only short term, because long-term help in these countries is increased economic opportunity and decreased U.S. demand for drugs in these regions, increased tax revenue, etc. Now, there are many hardships faced by migrants as they travel to the U.S. because the journey from Central America to the U.S. is dangerous. In fact, one Salvadorian migrant and his 23-month-old daughter, Valeria, were found dead on the bank of the Rio Grande River in northern Mexico. And the photo of them lying dead in the river has become a heartbreaking symbol for the desperate need for asylum by some of these refugees. And some Trump supporters are blaming the father and saying that he's responsible for what happened to his daughter, instead of acknowledging the fact that changes must be made to our country's legal way of obtaining asylum. Because in many cases, these refugees can't wait in their home countries and can't wait years or months to obtain legal asylum. Now, further on the conditions in detention camps, adults and children have been held for days, weeks, and even months in cramped cells without soap, toothpaste, or places to wash their hands. Children have been sleeping on concrete floors. Adults have been standing for days due to lack of space. Babies are drinking from unwashed bottles. And in Arizona, at a Border Patrol facility, a 15-year-old girl reportedly was groped by an officer during a pat-down in front of other migrants and officers. And then this is a picture of the conditions in detention camps in Texas. Now, many politicians have taken stances on this topic of migrant detention camps, so I've included a few tweets from politicians ranging from Donald Trump to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who was first, and her tweet talks about how these detention camps should be considered concentration camps, as the concentration camps are, by definition, the mass detention of civilians without trial. And that's exactly what this administration is doing. So that's what her tweet is saying. And Donald J. Trump tweeted on July 3rd, 2018, if illegal immigrants are unhappy with the conditions in the quickly built or refitted detention centers, just tell them not to come. All problems solved, which seemingly ignores the reasons prompting these asylum seekers to come to the U.S. in the first place. Also, Matt Gaetz, who is a U.S. representative for Florida, tweeted something similar, saying to require people to claim asylum in their home country, although many people can't afford to wait in their home countries to claim asylum. So in conclusion, the conditions in these migrant detention camps are an infringement on basic human rights and are regarded as a violation of the Geneva Convention, which states standards for humane treatment of wounded or captured military personnel during war. And many migrants are being held without access to soap, shampoo, toothpaste, and other basic necessities. And ultimately, this border crisis will not end until politicians can figure out how to expedite the process for asylum seekers, allowing them to escape dangers in their countries. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation.